Yo! What is up, y'all? How are you guys been today? Today is Tuesday, the 29th of March. We're about to be done with March pretty soon. We're going into April, my favorite month. I love April. Man, it was raining crazy yesterday. I don't know about where you guys live, but where I live, yesterday it was just downpour all day and night. It was bad. It was very bad. How's everybody doing today, though? What do we got? We got Kayla, Barbie, Izchan, Ruined, Wisteria, Burby, a monkey, Ruined, Robert. It's pouring over here in PR. Dang. What's up, OO? Thank you for moderating, by the way. You're amazing. Good. How about you? I'm doing all right. It snowed here. It was tragic. Jeez. Ryan Beta, what's up? Hioka, what's going on? Quirks, what's up? Blaze, I've been really sad. I've been sick for the past few days. I'm sorry. It sucks to be sick, you know? As long as you're just like, you know, normally sick and it's not COVID, then you're good. Do you play Roblox? Because I'm making Roblox Romp. I've never played Roblox. I've actually done some reactions to Roblox stuff in the past, but I have not actually played Roblox. It's freezing over here. I need a summary. You mentioned Snow. I'm here. What's up, Snow? How you been? Miss Project Eden's Garden? Like, what's going on? Miss Project Eden Garden. That's crazy. Roblox is fun. One of my favorite games. Should I stick around or should I get caught up? It just depends on how you feel. Maybe you want to stick around and see if it seems interesting to you. You might not like the game. You know what I mean? I have been enjoying it. Pancake Roll! What's up? How you been? Thank you for the 40, the big 40. You're amazing. Let's see what Pancake Roll said. They said, hold on, let me open up my Streamlabs here. They said, completed my internship today. Ooh! Feeling sad and happy. Have a good day, bestie. Oh, have a good day, bestie. I hope you get better later. I hate those days where you feel sad and happy. You know what I mean? Are you sad because you're leaving? That's why, because the internship is done. Dark Slayer, what's up? Thank you for moderating, by the way. Let's go. Yeah, she's awesome. I love Pancake Roll. Excited to see you play DDLC. Sorry, I mean Fatal Swell. Dude, when we were playing it yesterday, I really felt like it was feeling like DDLC a little bit at certain points. It had me like, what am I playing right now? You know what I mean? I'm happy it's over, but I'll miss my coworkers. Oh, I feel that. I feel that. Coworkers are so amazing sometimes. I hate it. I've had times where like I've cried with coworkers before because we're just like, oh, we'll never see each other again. And then like, you know, you guys make plans like, oh, we'll see each other eventually, like outside of work. And then you never see those people again. And it's just like, okay. That's how California people are. I feel like people here are like too busy doing their own thing that they don't really like, you know, they don't really follow through on plans outside of what they have to do. Redemption Rampa is going strong. My friend informed me about the mastermind being redacted. Yeah, I mean, Barbie's here right now. I'm back, sorry. So I don't know if you guys watched yesterday's live stream or not, but this game, I was feeling it. I was really intrigued with what we played yesterday. It was fun. I'm gonna have to say this is probably gonna be like one of my favorite visual novels that I've played, which is a surprise because I don't know. I feel like I don't usually play very many visual novels, to be honest with you guys. I'm so excited of today's live stream. Same. I mean, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I played Danganronpa. I played Zero Escape. I played Katawa Shoujo. That was a good game, by the way. I've obviously played some of the Phoenix Wright games. Those are visual novels. Forest Party doesn't really count, does it? I feel like it's a visual novel. I know it's an RPG Maker game, but yeah, I mean, there's really no gameplay. I still don't get the concept of this game yet. There are cards and they need to know about other people's names and cause of death. And if you do it, they'll die. Tell me if I'm wrong, Blaze. You're kind of like on the right path. I feel like you have to gather information. Like you said, their cause of death, their name, and then their regret also. That's so 3 things. And then you have to present that, like you have to elect them to die as long as you have all of their information. But the thing that I'm a little confused is like, apparently multiple people can get elected, but then like, I don't know. We'll have to see. Like I said, we're gonna have to see it in action. We haven't seen it in action yet. I think we will in this episode today. So we'll see how that really plays out. But yeah. Birth Me Code and Buried Stars. Oh yeah, I played those 2 games too. I think I understand it better than I did yesterday. I think in this episode, we'll definitely understand it more once we actually see a death game like play out completely. So bye everyone. Be good for your mods today. Bye OO. Bye chat. Bye Blaze. Bye Dark Slayer. Thanks for coming. Yo, YouTube. What's up? This is it. We're here again with some more Fatal 12. I'm excited. I was really liking what we saw yesterday. If you guys want to follow the playlist, it is actually like on my main page. Like, so for future people who are watching the VODs, if you can't find any other episodes other than episode 1, go to my main, like the main page of my channel, and then you'll see the playlist right on the page. And you can just click whatever episode you want to from there. But yeah, hit that like button if you haven't already. It really helps me out. And I'm glad that we're playing like a niche game, because every time I play a niche game, I always have people from that audience that are fans of that game come in here and they're like, oh my god, someone's actually playing that niche game. And it makes me so happy, you know what I mean? Because like people are like, oh my god, someone's actually playing this like really unknown game that I really like. And I just like the feeling of that. So let's get into it. Let me ask you a question, Blaze. What's up, Fizz? I don't know how I feel with it being supernatural or afterlife, similar to Persona or 12, but as a death game. Yeah, it is sort of like that, isn't it? I love South Park. South Park's amazing. Okay, so we left off here with Odette and Frederico. Wasn't that what his name was? So let's see what they have to do now. Later that day, Odette gets me to start tailing him. Needless to say, this is for the sake of getting information regarding his regret. Divine Selection takes place at 12 p.m. on Sunday, JST, so we'll be in a good spot if we manage to get all 3 pieces of info on him before then. As for why I'm tailing him on my own, well, Odette's down with a hangover. Oh, really? Not in the way you'd imagine, though. She ain't suffering in bed. She's peed off and screaming at everyone and everything. I mean, we all saw how much wine she consumed. Like, that is not natural. Can't believe she's making me second guess her usefulness just one day later. Yeah, he mad. Not long after I start tailing him, I have to rush back to the hotel to get Odette. Rose's company was located in one of those fancy high-class buildings in the middle of Beijing City. I lost sight of him thanks to it being so crowded, but I managed to learn his plans. A few minutes after entering the building, he made his way back out, acting as someone there on official business. I asked the front desk about his schedule, to which he replied he was leaving on a business trip. They were hesitant about revealing the destination at first, but I managed to get them to reveal that he'd be staying in Taiwan for 3 days while visiting their local branch. Nice. I'm making a Gachrampa from like Danganronpa tubers. Not 100% sure what style to use for clothing. Any suggestions? I'll be honest with you. I don't really know. I'm not good with clothing. I'm good with dressing myself, but not really designing characters. Turns out we can hop on the same flight as him if we haul over to the airport. I knock on her door, fully expecting her to flip out at me. Imagine my surprise when she struts out of the room all ready to go, luggage and all. As an aside, our phones and credit cards were perfectly intact despite our washing up ashore, so we didn't have any issue buying whatever gear we needed. Oh god, jeez, her freaking sprite. Yo, this is the first time we've actually like seen her sprite, and her sprite is crazy. Huh? You what? Yeah, that's actually a good question.
この程度の情報もつかめないんだったら協力関係を破棄してやろうと試してたのさ。
She drops that bombshell on me like it's a casual greeting. The fact that she doesn't mention what she'd do with me if I failed her little test proves how twisted she really is. Why do I got to be tested in the first place? Good question. She is kind of sly, isn't she? She works very calculated. She's very calculated. We leave the hotel after I rush to get my stuff together. Having made it on time to catch the same flight as Ro, we make our way to our hotel in Taiwan after landing. It's the same hotel he's staying in, so we chose a room far enough away from his and then discuss our next move over some wine and cheese. Ooh, that's fancy. Bye, Fizz. Thanks for coming.
生意気にビジネスクラスに乗ってやがったからロビーで見つからなかったんだ。ま、エコノミーじゃ出っ張った腹が邪魔だろうがな。
Oh, the music is nice here. What the freak?
偶然座席が余っててアップグレードできたんで到着ロビーから尾行してホテルを突き止められた。結果オーライだな。
She's in business class.
ビジネスクラスでいい思いをしたのだけな。あんたは選定の場所で顔が割れてるんだぜ。顔が騒いだりしたらどうするつもりだったんだ。
I love Odette, man. She is literally dragging this guy around. It's looking disastrous.
そんなこと警戒すらしてなかったみたいだ。まさか私ら選定の参加者が中国まで追ってきてるとは思ってないみたいだ。いや、それ以前に平然と仕事をして暮らしているあたり、ありゃもしかしたら選定そのものを信じていない可能性もあるな。
I agree with you, Justin. I love the concept too.
まともな大人なら信じないだろ、あんなもん。俺もあんたと一緒に漂着したから信じたってもんだ。
She grins nihilistically? I can't say it before continuing.
自分の死を冷静に認識できてればどうして生きているって疑問が浮かぶんだけどな。そうなりゃ選定とやらの存在を信じざるを得ない。
Hey, Raven! What's up? Thank you for the sub. Or I should say member. How are you enjoying this game, Blaze? I regret suggesting this game as I dropped it after a bit. Maybe I got bored or the game rules was too complicated. I could see the game rules maybe being too complicated. If I don't know when you dropped it, but if you dropped it in the beginning, it was probably because the beginning was very, very slow. I mean, it was like one of those up and down. It was like a roller coaster where it was like, it popped off really fast. The explosion happened. The next thing you know, we're talking about coffee. And the next thing you know, they put you in a death game and they throw you into it with like a bunch of rules. And then you see someone die and then it goes slow again. So I could see why you probably like, yeah, you fell off of the game a little bit. Nihilistically. Okay, I got you, Harley. Thank you. I grabbed some squares of cheese as I posed that question to her. Once I confirm that she's reacted to it, I continue. What's up, Static? I'm enjoying the music though here.
クレーマーのふりをしてロの部屋がうるさい、部屋を変えてくれって言ってやった。そしたらフロントのやつは明日までだから我慢してくれって答えた。
So he's leaving in the morning.
まあ旧大点か。確かにそいつは妙だな。あいつは明日に台湾支社へ行って明後日には工場の視察に行く予定になっているはずだ。
So this guy is really important then.
どちらもこのホテルからのアクセスは悪くないはずだが。
What's up, Blair? How you been? Thanks for lurking. Thanks for coming.
ならお前は明日も張り込みを頼む。私は別の視点から調べ物をしてみる。
So obviously Frederico isn't the ultimate spy.
はあ？なんだよそれ。
今日は飯だ。台湾料理はまだ食ってないからな。 私は海の幸にはうるさいが、どうだ？
Mediterranean?
地中海料理との違いを堪能してやろうぜ。
I don't think I've ever had Taiwanese food either. I don't think that's something that you can really get in the States. Have you guys had that before here in America? I don't know. Maybe overseas you can get it, like in Europe somewhere, but maybe not in Europe. That wouldn't make any sense. What's up, Robert?
いずれにせよ早まってロー問い詰めたりしたら逆効果だしな。
We split the rest of the wine between us and finish off the cheese. Ooh, cheese is so good.
フランスのもんじゃなくイタリアのもんだ。海の幸の比較なら俺の方が適任だわな。
Frederico, what he said, Mediterranean cuisine belongs to Italy and not France. He's got a point, because if you think about it, like Sicily, a lot of Sicilian food and such is kind of like, you know, they share a lot of Mediterranean qualities. I'm in Europe and I honestly don't recall seeing any Taiwanese places. Yeah, I don't think we have those here either. Always Chinese, Korean, Japanese, but no Taiwanese. Yeah, I don't get that either here. The major thing I take away from yesterday's activities is that surprisingly, Taiwanese food ain't half bad. I want to try it now. Yeah, they could work on their presentation a bit, but those steamed shrimp buns were delicious. Could see myself getting hooked on those rice noodles too. Rice noodles? Don't let me forget the spicy stuff either. Adding some dobanjian. What is that? Dobanjian? And I can't even say these words. Really created a perfect and rich balance between sweet and sour. Oops, that's enough dad impressions for one day. Even though my stomach regrets eating so much last night, here I am in the hotel's parking lot early in the morning waiting for Ro. Once I see him leaving in a taxi, I make sure to follow. And now I've been sitting around outside his company building for a good part of the day. Boring as hell, but I'm used to waiting by this point. The streets of Taiwan really are an interesting sight though. You can get a good hour's worth of entertainment from people watching. Too bad I still got another 7 hours left. After what feels like an eternity, I finally spot him leaving the building. Oh, here we go, here we go! I figure he'll make his way back by taxi too, but it looks like he's hoofing it instead. It's entirely possible that the people at the front desk told me he'd only be staying one night just to get rid of me, maybe. But the fact that he's not going straight back by taxi proves nothing. He could be going out for a meal with someone first. That much is normal for a corporate bigwig like him. As it turns out, he ends up at an Italian restaurant in town. Ristorante, to be accurate. Italian restaurants are split into ristorantes, trattorias, and osterias. Ristorantes are the fanciest of the three. Okay. That's what they do out there in Italy. I'm learning the world here today. I'm learning all Taiwan. I'm learning Italy. I'm learning Mediterranean. Like, where else are we gonna go? What's up, Gamurai? Rice noodles? I don't know what those are either. The glass paneling makes the restaurant easy to keep an eye on, so I waltz into a cafe directly across the street. It's got glass paneling as well, so there's no danger of losing track of him. I order an espresso and dump plenty of sugar into it. Ew! It's gonna be a struggle to make this last as long as a ristorante meal, but I gotta deal with it. Ew! Espresso with sugar? That sounds like a heart attack waiting to happen. As far as I can tell, it seems like a real fancy joint. Looks like he's made a reservation, judging by how he gets taken to his seat by one of the staff right away. Soon after, someone takes a seat across from him. A young woman. She's wearing one of those glitzy red dresses that dirty old geezers drool over. Yikes! I'm pretty sure he's got a family, but it doesn't take much time for me to catch on to what this is about. She ain't my type, but there's no denying that she's a looker. Doesn't seem like a random hostess either. Next, you're gonna learn the Minecraft enchantment table language. Bring up Germany, I can confirm / deny stuff. Having discovered their relationship, I spend the rest of my time watching them enjoy their meal. Guess he's picked out a wine beforehand. Gotta hand it to him. Red wine like that will send any woman over the moon, assuming they've got good taste. Hey, I hear the same thing. I hear, like, you know, when girls, when they hit that, you know, that mid, 30s, 40s, they be enjoying some red wine. It's true. They're queens at that age. Raven, what's up? Thank you for the 5. After like 4 to 5 hours in game, my last thought was, oh my god, nothing is happening. I didn't touch the game since. Just got my cup of tea. Raven was like, ain't nothing happening. Really? I felt like some stuff happened. How much have we played? Maybe about 3 hours? It's just a shame that He's using his bread to wipe up the leftover pasta sauce. Why? You don't do that? You're gonna make that woman feel ashamed to be with you, buddy. Wait, really? Is that nasty to do? Should you not wipe up the rest of the pasta sauce with your breadstick? The restaurant seems like it's more on the expensive end compared to the others around here too. Chances are he started going to these types of places more often once he hit a certain age. He has the appropriate manners, but sticking to them and also dropping old habits can prove to be tricky. Not like anyone's gonna call him out for it, considering his age and position. 3 hours pass before they finish eating and enjoying their after-dinner espresso. I get myself ready to leave while Ro pays for the whole thing by card. Fortunately, I know exactly what their plan is after this, probably because I do the same thing. Once they leave and get into a taxi, I jump into another one and follow them. They end up making their way back to the woman's apartment, so after I confirm that they've gone inside, I return to the hotel. I don't know much about Taiwanese dogs, but some breed I've never seen before came out to greet them both when they arrived at her place. Is that all that happened? Odette's like, what the freak? I am too, Odette. I'm new to the game. I hope you figured some stuff out. She waves her hand in dismissal. Guess she wasn't able to learn anything interesting, so now she's peed off. Meanwhile, I'm feeling pretty great because I've gotten my hands on some crucial info. At least I learned a little bit. Yup, she's alright. I heave a quick sigh before explaining what I saw. What's up, Patrick? Yeah, this game is underrated.
妻も3人の子供もまだ北京に住んでいるはずだ。
ああ、若い女だったぜ。ありゃ愛人だな。ご丁寧にマンションに入るときキスをしてやがった。
She's his lover, okay.
悪趣味なやつだな。
だろ。あの太っちょ、真面目そうな顔した愛人作ってやがったんだ。犬にも懐かれてるみたいだから相当通い詰めてるぜ。
犬にもね。おっと。悪趣味なのはお前だぜ。中年男の恋事情を覗きにしてんだからさ。
Odette!
あんた、イラついてるからってそりゃねえぜ。
Odette's like, I don't care.
こいつの未練は愛人で決まりだな。
Oh, maybe. Our last two attempts were regarding his family and work, but neither caused the card to appear. It might have been because we weren't entirely certain, but a part of me felt that we weren't on the right track. I'm confident about this one though, which is why I direct my comment to the book, expecting it to turn out a card for me. Maybe it is his lover. All that follows is a brief period of absolute silence, sans the sound of the air conditioning humming away in the background. We failed. We gotta dig deeper. I have no comeback. All I can do is begrudgingly jam a cigarette in my mouth. I don't like cigarettes either. They're disgusting. She flashes me her standard grin in response. Is she really? Or is she gonna stay here and eat more Taiwanese food? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean, Odette's here. Wink, wink. Yeah, you feel me? Like, I find myself eyeing Odette after saying that, but nah, I wouldn't go at it with someone like her even if she asked. Really? I head out to have a smoke after that, a little annoyed at myself for even considering that option. Why? What's wrong with Odette? We leave Taiwan in the morning and check back into the same hotel as before when we went back to Beijing. I part ways with Odette, who says she has something she wants to look into, and then I start tailing Ro again. Getting anything worthwhile regarding his regrets as he goes about his daily business proves to be a lot more difficult than expected, so I make my way back to the hotel after I confirm that he's returned home. I think Frederico is trying to know her cause of death and regret. Yeah, maybe. Who are these people? So these are it's a different perspective of like some people who are also participating in the death game.
あんたどこへ行ってたんだ？
まあどこでもいいじゃないの。さて、あとは日曜を迎えるだけだし、宴会しに行こう。初日に
She just wants to eat again.
あそこの北京ダックはうまかった。
Chloe, what's going on?
はあ？どの未練が分かったってんか？
Wait, she found out?
ああ、だがお前にはまだ教えない。
Oh,
指名が二人にな
true.
ったら優先権とやらの取り合いになるからね。
I think if two people elect the same person, it voids that, right? Or something like that. That goddess did mention something to that effect, now that I think about it. Like if two or more people elect the same person, they got to reveal one piece of their own info to everyone else to gain election priority. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. So if two or more people elect the same person, they got to reveal one piece of their own info to everyone. Okay. To be able to get that election priority. That makes sense. Sure, you'll be able to get into info from the person you eliminate, but you're putting way too much at risk in exchange. Odette's removing the chances of that happening to us by not telling me. In other words, she doesn't trust me. Can't say I trust her either, though.
ところでよ。いい加減怪しまれるぜ、おっさん。
ああ。
Her sudden insult takes me aback, but she isn't actually addressing me. She's looking over to the door I entered from. Wait, who's here? I approach the door, praying that the worst case scenario in my head won't take place, and then open it. Wait! So he just showed up? It's this guy? Ro-chan Ho, the very man we've been following around, is standing right there. That means he's the one who has been tailing me all along. Oh, we got.
二人で協力していたとは正直意外だったよ。だがどうにも嫌な感じがしてね。最初は裏金を調べに来たマスコミかとも思ったが。
He does kind of stand out though, with the piercings and such.
チンピラだと？
You did use talking, blatantly ignoring me.
オデット・マランソン。私をこそこそ調べていた首謀者は君だね。
Oh, he knows her. Uh-oh.
首謀者ときたか。やっぱり私の方が偉そうに見えるってことだね。
That tie is ugly. That is the ugliest tie I have ever seen. Sorry.
そんなことはどうでもいい。そんなことはどうでもいい。
That's a horrible tie. Get a new tie, please. He's right. The important bit is that he called her by name. Meaning he's in possession of her name card. He made that clear in an attempt to bait a response from her. Chances are she realizes that as well, which is why she responded the way she did.
夢の世界。なかなか信じられない話ではあったが、夢の中で出会った人物が同じ飛行機の中にいたら信じないわけにはいかんよ。
True?
君のように目立つ女性は間違えるはずもないしね。
I actually do like A Hat in Time. It's a good game. Yeah, she really does stand out. Not only is she pretty dang tall, but she's also built like a tank. You could say she's got looks, but those don't stand out near as much. Wait, yeah, I mean, yeah, she stands out, but at the same time, Frederico kind of does too.
確かに目立つぜ。
おい、何ニヤニヤしてんだ。
That
君こそ笑っている場合ではないのでは。私がなぜわざわざここへ来たと。
this man was ahead of us.
取引だ。私にも家族がいる。こんなところで死ぬわけにはいかないからね。
Odette is a mountain though.
お父さんは私の死因か未練のどちらかを知っているわけだ。
Uh-oh. She takes a deep breath before shaking her head.
両方じゃないな。だったら最初の選定で私を殺してる。
Can you just kill people right now? That's my question, right? I want to know if you could just like kill someone right now. It's like screw it. Let's just go. Like, why even wait for the game? Let's just end it. Let me kill this guy before we even get back to the game.
話が早くて助かるよ。
I noticed the hot chick before the dude who looks fresh out of... What is that, Owo? A show?
こっちはあんたの情報をすべて持ってるんだぞ。立ち聞きしてたんだから分かってるはずだ。
Oh, they're immortal? Okay. So they can't die again. Unless it's by the game.
ああ。だから私の取引はこうだ。ミス・オデット。君は私を指名しないと約束してくれ。さもなければ、このチンピラに君の情報を教える。
Uh-oh. His expression is deathly serious. I have to stop myself from cracking a smile. The room is silent as can be, but not for the reason he is hoping. At long last, Odette shatters the illusion when she bursts out in laughter. Oh! Yo, what happened? She follows that up by punching him square in the face. What? Hey! Odette's going in! She follows that up by punching him square in the face, which sends him flying over to the opposite side of the hall. This dude must weigh over 200 pounds. A true testament to her ridiculous strength. Yo! She destroyed this man! She saunters over to him, takes a seat, and laughs right in his face. Yo, she is a G! I love Odette! I love Odette. What's up, Purple Lambda? How you been? Come into Blaze asking if we can just murder someone. I have no words. I hope you guys have been all right. Thanks for coming to the stream and just hanging out with us for a little bit. He's holding his cheek after that punch, but it looks to me like his nose took more damage considering it's gushing blood. Holy crap. Oh! Nick! Yo, that is a dope CG. Wow. Oh my god, look at that. If you guys want a screenshot. Wait, hold on, let me get off the screen. I mean, I'm saying though. Oh, that's funny, that's funny, that's funny.
なんだと？今すぐ情報をばらしてもいいんだぞ。そうすれば貴様らは仲間割れに。
やってみろよ。
She called him fatty. Oh no.
そしたら私はお前の家族を全員こいつに殺させる。
は？
That was a threat. I'm having a lesbian moment. I'm glad I actually have time to stay for a bit. Same. You guys are awesome. She punches the floor as her way of telling me to keep my mouth shut.
お前の目論見が成功して仲間割れしたとして、万が一に私が負けて、こいつが生き残ったらどうだ？お前の家族が死んだなかったことにはならないぞ。
She's gonna threaten to kill his family? That's messed up.
家族だけじゃなく、お前の未練も死んじまう。
So is the lover the regret?
貴様、なんて下道な。
Yeah, her design is pretty cool.
黙れよ、クソじじい。
Hey, she's still beating people up! She stands up and kicks him straight in the gut. Jesus! Gotta say, even I think she's overdoing it a bit.
小物が生きがってんじゃねえ。お前がおとなしく死んどけば、何もかもうまくいくんだよ。
Dear Lord, Odette, chill out.
取引がしたいってんなら、てめえも私の情報を集めてからだ。私が指名しても、ちゃんと防御できるようにな。
I like her design too. Who said that? Vivian, I agree with you on that. I like her color scheme. I like the black and blue. It's cool. She's got an aura around her.
ビジネスマンなら0を1にする交渉じゃなく1を100にする取引をすべきだろ。
Ah, that's facts. She grabs him by the collar while she spits out her insults. All he can do in response is close his eyes and turn his head away. Jeez.
遺言状でも書いてな。意味はなくなっちまうけどよ。
She's not your type of character. I feel you on that. Once she finishes, she motions for me to go back into the room with her. There is plenty I want to call her out on, but the last thing I want to do is go against her will right now. It's like I've said before. She's the type of person who tries to ultimately solve everything through violence. Yeah, that's kind of messed up. What's up, Real Rosie? Once we're back in the room, she acts like nothing just happened. After I just beat this man, let's go get some food. This woman really is nuts. The mafia might do some shady stuff now and then, but we still have some attachment to society's norms, considering we dip our hands in regular business to a certain extent. Meanwhile, people like her who live by the rules of the sea lack any such attachments. That realization helps to explain why even a mafioso like myself can be surprised by someone's insanity. Man, get out of here with that mess. The mafia is just as bad. Come on. No, my camera didn't die. I just, I faded in and out just so you guys can see the sprites here and there, you know? She really just said, I'll throw hands at you, your family, your dog, your coworkers. That guy just looked at yesterday. That guy you looked at yesterday, right? Lambda, she really did. Ro has outright vanished by the time we leave the hotel to go get some food. I actually feel pretty bad when I think about how he's probably spending what little time he has left with his family. That being said, the fact that I'm here enjoying some food and booze, despite it all, proves how messed up I am too, true? Once we satisfied our stomachs, Odette hits me with a threatening gaze. I know, I timed that just right. As the screen was fading out, I like faded my camera out. It was kind of dope. What's up, Fox Kid? She says this like it's a perfectly acceptable topic to bring up during a meal. You think that these two are gonna last to the end? Bro, so if we have a person like her, right? With Rinka, like Rinka and them, they need to take her out quick, bro. She's gotta go. She's gonna kill everybody at this point. I'm gonna go talk to Ro if you do. It's like he's tattling. Don't hit me, please. I'm gonna tell Ro on you. She a thick black woman, so I'm fine with this. What's up, Soph girl? That's funny. She lets out a raucous laugh, but I can tell it's phony. But that's the kind of person who walks a thin line at all times while making sure that everyone else thinks otherwise. Not that I'm one to talk when I do the same myself. She says she wants to avoid us both electing Ro, but another reason she's refusing to tell me his regret is because she knows there's a chance he has info on her. The fact that I've only realized such a simple truth now proves that I'm still in no position to get the advantage over her. Jumping ship to Ro's side would do me more horrible than good for me too. So basically, I'm best off remaining her ally. Yeah, I would agree with that. Jeremiah, I agree with you. An obvious killer character is kind of interesting, if done well, of course. Yeah. You'd have to be a real dumb to earn the wrath of someone this insane. Having finished our business, all that's left to do is wait for the second round to start. Oh, we're gonna go back into the death game now. Are we back to being Rinka again? Ah, we are. Oh, Rinka, I missed you. There's been no progress at all these past few days in regards to divine selection. Oh crap, it's giving me freaking things to do here. Oh no. Should I hang out with Naomi or Miharu? I guess Miharu. Nothing's really changed between me and Miharu ever since this whole thing started. There's actually been a significant change. I'm referring to the fact that we're both just acting as though nothing's changed. As for Naomi, I've been seeing her more and more recently. That's mainly due to my teaching her how to brew coffee for the culture festival. She spilled boiling water and folded the filter wrong a good number of times, but fortunately, none of our cups have been broken, yet. That's likely due to the fact that she's aware how much my gran treasures them, so she takes extra care, despite her inherent clumsiness. Time to go to bed. I say this out loud for no reason. From what I remember, I was taken to the dream world at midnight last time. Might as well go to sleep now if that'll happen again. I glance over to the clock, which says it's 11 p.m., and then I shut my eyes. Yeah, she's a barista. She's an anime barista. Anime girl barista. This game is gonna turn me lesbian. You and everyone else. They just send you here anyway, huh? I find myself in the court of fate once again. This is as impressive as ever. As I figured, it doesn't matter whether or not I'm asleep when the time comes. To my left is Miharu, and to my right is that Middle Eastern man. I take brief glances at both their faces, opting to not engage with either of them. Part of me is afraid of that man. He doesn't seem fazed by the fact that he eliminated someone last time. I can't imagine I remain that stoic, knowing I just stolen someone's future from them. Yeah, that's kind of messed up. None of the other participants speak to each other. Instead, we allow an oppressive silence to rule the court. Oh, I like her. Her design is kind of cool. You know, yesterday when we were playing this game, I was looking at her and I was looking at Miharu and I was like, they look similar. I wonder if Miharu is like related to her in some kind of way. You know what I mean? Like, do you guys think they could be like sisters or something? The one to break that silence is none other than the girl we've all grown familiar with. She stands in the middle of the court, her posture as elegant as ever. I'm fairly sure she wasn't here when I arrived, and yet she's here now. I assume this is what it'd feel like if you saw someone teleport in front of you. Who is that hot Middle Eastern man? I love the 999 reference for the title. Yeah, because this game reminds me of that, because everything deals with 12. Just like how in Zero Escape and 999 in particular, everything deals with 9. She actually might be teleporting, though, assuming that whole thing about being a goddess is true. I mean, if you think about it, Miharu's kind of similar to her too, because like Miharu also gets dressed up and such. She has like that whole like maid costume that she gets into, and it kind of reminds me of Parsa a little bit. Just hearing her speak helps me convince that she's not lying about being a goddess. You can tell she's looking down on us based on her ruthlessness, which somehow seems fitting for a goddess. I've definitely reevaluated my thoughts on her over this past week. Hey! Look at that CG! All the particles and such! Beautiful. That looks so cool. Dude, I need to screenshot that. Hold on. Give me a second here. That's a thumbnail. That should have been this thumbnail for this stream. She softly announces the beginning of the end. The art in the game is insane. It really is. The clock of fate. In response to her command, the hands on the clock begin to move. The long minute hand points at me. I didn't notice during the first round thanks to my circumstances, but this is basically the method of confirming whether or not a participant wants to elect someone. Rink is like, I'll pass. Uh-oh, Miharu. Miharu opts not to elect anyone as well. The man appointed is numeral 3. Oh, he's 3? Yeah, he is 3. Okay, yeah, because we have his card. Does the same. He's tall and wears a suit. I assume he's European based on his facial features. How do you just like tell that? The Europeans look... I feel like some Europeans look different than... whatever. That reminds me, how does it determine what we'll be wearing while we're here? I sincerely doubt he'd be sleeping in a suit. So did he get brought here while awake? Not like what you're wearing at the time reflects what you'll be wearing here either. The fact that I'm wearing my school uniform despite going to bed in my pajamas proves that. As for Miharu, she's also in her uniform. We're asking the right questions here, aren't we, today? This outfit doesn't stand out too much, so I doubt anyone could identify it without taking a picture first. But that doesn't change the fact that info on me is out in the open. I can do anything about it so long as I don't understand how to influence my appearance, though. Putting that aside, I take a look at all the other participants again. Out of everyone, numeral 7 is the only one who's visibly distressed. Oh yeah, he's scared. Maybe Parcel was just acting cynical before. There's no doubt that he'll be elected tonight. I'm sure that's what everyone else is thinking too. There is likely nothing in common between us all other than that juncture of casualty thing Parsa mentioned before. Our ages, gender, and nationality are all over the place. Whoa! Wait, we got little kids here. Isn't that the one girl that had the bombs? That blew us up? Jesus. Both girls are foreigners from what I can tell. Why did kids as young as them have to die? Yeah, that's messed up. The fact that I can only come to know the reason through eliminating them is nauseating. I don't want to see them die. Before I know it, the clock hands make their way around to numeral 11. It's a tall woman built almost like a sports athlete. Not only are her legs nice and long, but her chest is sizable. She literally said not only are her legs nice and long, but her chest is sizable. That's great. You can tell there's no way in the world that she's Japanese based on her looks. Wait, really? I'm normally jealous of tall people because of my height, but even I know it's impossible for me to ever look like that. A clock hand stops in front of her. Hey, that something's up with that silver-haired girl. She's the one that killed us. Uh-oh. I feel like our eyes meet all of a sudden. Probably because I've been staring at her for so long. Oh my god. Rinka, stop. I avert my eyes immediately. I don't know why, but my instincts are telling me to fear her. She's not normal. Not just because of her build. There's something fundamentally different between her and regular people like me. That's so messed up to say. It's a different kind of fear than the one I feel in relation to numeral 12, too. Part of me gets worried that I'm about to be elected, but as I expect, she goes straight for numeral 7. The small hour hand spins to point toward him. The platforms both of them are standing on begin to emit an odd light. After that, the minute hand shifts to numeral 12, who simply shakes his head. Looks like he's not electing anyone tonight. Uh-oh. Arsa smiles once the longer hand finishes making its way around. That's not the face one would normally make when they know someone is about to be eliminated. Yo, so they got rid of Ro quick. That was light work for them. Both of their platforms start to move and gradually rise above us. So, okay, this is gonna get deep. So right now, basically like that woman that we saw before, that was the first one that died. And now we have Ro, who's about to die now. These are just kind of like feelers, right? Because we don't care about those two people, right? Like the woman, like we barely even knew anything about her. And then Ro, we don't know nothing. He's just a big, ugly businessman. Nobody cares about him, right? But as you guys can see, we have kids here. Not just Rinka, not just Miharu, but we have these two little ones that might get eliminated someday. This is about to get feelsy. The same thing happened last time too. This is about to get really feelsy. I take my eyes off the rising platforms after muttering that. It doesn't take long for them to finish. Also, as I expect, it's the woman who returns. She reports the results to Parsa, her expression one of obvious displeasure. Oh, she got numeral 5's name? So Ro gave him... Oh, wait, what? Who's this old man? That's numeral 5? Numeral 5 looks like the oldest of us all. He's most likely Japanese. He doesn't react when she mentions that she's learned his name, although he might just be feigning indifference. In fact, the woman seems to be more transparent with her emotions than him. She's the complete opposite of numeral 12 when he elected and eliminated someone. While he displayed no emotion at all, she's openly annoyed, but deep down she seems to be enjoying this. She reminds me of a kid who gets angry when they lose a game, but secretly enjoyed the experience. Dude, watch. Her and the Middle Eastern man are gonna go at it once. They're gonna go at it.
選定を終了といたしましょう。
Okay, now it's about to get real because now they just basically gave us like a taste of what the game's gonna be like. Now it's gonna get really real. I want some more time to observe things here, but Parsa brings an end to tonight's round without a moment's hesitation. Unlike the first round, I've come away from this one having learned a lot more. Unfortunately, that only serves to give me an even worse feeling about the days to come. So when Ro died, he gave up numeral 5's name to Odette. By the time Odette eliminates Ro, morning has come. I can't even remember whether I was awake or asleep when we got taken into the dream world. It's partially due to the fact that I didn't take the time difference between her here in Japan into account. But from now on, I should make sure to remain more alert on Sundays. Once we've gotten ready to leave, we call on room service to bring us up some breakfast.
でよ、結局ロの未練は何だったんだ。
Ro got eliminated. We already knew Ro was gonna die because they already gathered all the information that they could on Ro, and she kept quiet, or she kept Frederico quiet, so he wouldn't say anything. But yeah, that was a. It's gonna get realer now because now like all of these people seem like they don't really know each other now because they already knew Ro, and then the Middle Eastern man already knew the girl. So we'll see what happens.
なんだ、まだ予想がついてなかったのか。お前が自分で言ってたんだぞ。
I don't know how Rinka and Miharu are going to be able to collect any information. I don't either.
は？俺がか。
I think back to my previous suggestions, albeit without much confidence.
やっぱり愛人関係なのか。
まあいいか。それじゃ全く気づいてないみたいだしよ。
I like how these backgrounds make it feel like some fancy hotel. I know, right? She gulps down the rest of her Americano before continuing. Gotta say, she really likes espresso-based drinks, doesn't she?
犬だよ。
Dog related. Oh, his dog?
犬？犬ってあの犬だよな。
Wait, what do you mean by that?
だが、あの愛人が飼ってた犬ってわけじゃね
A dog, but not his lovers.
え。あいつは犬と一生を共にしたかったんだ。子犬から育てて、成犬になれば友人になり、最後を見とる。
Aw, that's kind of sad.
ありふれた経験だが、得難い経験でもある。
That's really sad.
犬ごときが未練になるもんかね。
でも、人それぞれだろうに。お前の国でもペットを飼うのは普通だろ。
俺の国ではな。
I'm not fond of having to talk about myself, so I try to shift topics.
ところで、なんでそれが分かったんだ。
Wait, she didn't know?
お前が愛人のところに犬がいるって言っていたのを聞いてピンときたんだ。もしかしてってな。んで調べてたらローの妻が犬アレルギーだったって判明した。そりゃ飼えないわけだ。
So he regretted not owning a dog because his wife had allergies, so he couldn't get a dog. So it's like, oh man, I'm not gonna be able to, you know, have a dog of my own one day and see it grow up from a pup to a big dog and then see it die and stuff like that. Like he really wanted that, I guess, really bad. I didn't know that. She spills every last bean on his personal life after that. His parents, who lived in the countryside, had a dog back when he lived with them during his youth. The dog was killed in a traffic accident though. Oh, that's sad. His family refused to get another pet after that, since the sudden shock that came from losing it was too much for them. Oh, and that led to the birth of Rose's great regret.
今度こそちゃんと死を見とってあげたいってな。
The family dog? Yeah, when the family dog dies, it's
気
sad.
持ちだけなら分からないでもないな。未練になるほどってのは俺は理解できないけどさ。
She scoffs in response. Believe it or not, but this brute actually has a soft spot for animals. Hell, her ultimate regret might be dog related as well. Not like you could keep a pet when you're always out to sea. Either way, the discussion moves away from Ro shortly after that. Over the course of his life, he kept too busy and was too financially unstable to own a pet. And once he got married and settled down, he discovered that his wife had allergies. Oh. Guess we'll never know whether or not he convinced his lover to get a dog because of that, or if he went with her because she already owned one. Hell, She could have just been some lady he hired to look after his secret pet dog. Odette's the only one with those answers now. Oh, that's a good point. Oh well, probably shouldn't concern myself with someone who's been eliminated.
で、ニュースはどうなった？
It really hurts when the dog dies, I know. Can we get F's in the chat for the dog? The goddess said that anyone eliminated during divine selection would have the reversal of their deaths undone. Not only that, but any events linked to that period of time would also be undone. So all of that was undone now?
自分で見ろ。
She flings her smartphone across the table to me in response. I don't even need to browse the web based on her reaction, so I give a casual glance toward the screen before handing it back.
2週間前、中国の有名企業の役員
Oh, so now he actually died.
脳梗塞で突然死。
Wow.
誰だな？
So if Rinka dies, right? Like, let's say Rinka were to lose the game, then that means that whole train incident would have happened?
ところでよ、あの運命の大広間とやらの上はどうなってるんだ？指名の時、上に行ってただろ？
I'm starting to find myself curious about how the election process works. Yeah, I'm curious too. They haven't showed us, right?
ちーと説明が面倒だが、まあ教えておいた方が今後はいいか。
She doesn't seem too sure at first, but she decides to take the time to give me a primer. And a pretty long primer at that, even for someone who talks as much as she does. Are we gonna get a flashback? Oh, snap. The circular platforms both Odette and Ro were standing on began to rotate as they were raised above the court of fate. A hat in time has a Danganronpa mod. That's pretty cool. Upon reaching a certain height, they stopped ascending. The layout of the upper area was similar to the lower stratum, but parts of it felt different somehow. The goddess, displaying her usual weary smile, had made her own ascent before either participant could blink. What?
それでは指名をどうぞ。
After ascending, all the cards in Odette's possession sprung out from her book at once. A strange light surrounded them, masking both their number and contents from everyone's view except Odette's.
なんだ、言えばいいんだな、こいつの情報を。
貴様
You wretched wench!
あなた様のお好きなようにカードを宣言してくださいまし。
Odette's eyes scanned across the cards in front of her. She currently had 9 cards, including her own. Among them were 3 specific cards she needed to read aloud. She brushes her fingers against them before speaking. Oh my god! Oh my god! These camera angles!
やめろやめてくれ
God, she's amazing. Okay, we need... I'm sorry. We need another screenshot. These angles.
てめえの死因は脳梗塞。
私には家族がいるんだ私が死んだら家族はどうなる貴様はその責任を背負えるのかまだ間に合う指名をやめなさい金はある私は株も土地も持っている
This man wants to give us everything. Money, stocks, land. We don't need none of that. None of that even matters anyway if we die, right? Stop, I'm simping.
みっともねえな。
いくら欲しいいくらでも出す私の信用情報ならいくらでも引き出せる一生遊んで暮らせるぞどうする
こいつの未練は犬だ。
終わりだ
金だろうが同情だろうが命の対価にならねえよ。何より勝負事で私が妥協する。
Wow. That is heartless. That is heartless. Once Odette finished, 3 of her cards floated away from her. After reaching the middle of the court of fate, they came together and formed a triangular shape. She said, I'm here to win, boys. Sheesh.
じゃあな、おっさん。
Who knows whether or not he could hear her last words to him. He simply hung his head in despair, realizing that his fate had been sealed. Oh god, that word despair. One by one, Odette's cards began to emit a white light.
散りゆくものに 福音あれ。
This is dark. Said light got brighter and brighter until it eventually blanketed the entire area. And then it happened. What happened? In the brief moment that Odette's vision was blinded by the light enveloping the area, her consciousness was overtaken by an unfamiliar scene. Her senses were linked to the scene as well. Okay. Odette got to keep herself alive, right? She witnessed a number of old, chubby men. All are wearing expensive suits and sitting in an oddly bright room. Their faces were all twisted into expressions of boredom. The artificial lighting in the room was almost blinding when it reflected off the documents they had brought along. It was apparent that they were holding some sort of meeting. She could tell it was one of great importance, judging by the tone of their voices. However, she was unable to hear the details of their conversation. Some manner of interference prevented her from doing so. And then the unexpected struck. All of a sudden, her vision went blurry. Next, her face slammed down on the table with a thud. She was unable to muster the strength to move her body whatsoever. Wait, what's going on? She collapsed down onto the floor. The unclear voices were now clearly being directed toward her. Eventually, her consciousness faded as she lost all bodily sensation. A stream of memories followed. All manner of people were talking to her, but it was impossible to make out a single word they were saying. Wait, what is happening? Regardless, the sense of disconnect she felt at that moment made it clear what was going on. She's experiencing his death? Those were Rose memories. Memories of the moment he died, engraved upon his very soul. Oh. Oh, wow. As he drew his last breath, Rose's thoughts were of his dog that died when he was young. Oh. I don't like that. By the time the flashback ended, Ro had disappeared from Odette's sight. The card she used to elect him did the same, and the room returned to its usual gloomy atmosphere. One thing she noticed was that the beam of light that shone from above had grown thicker, although she wasn't sure whether or not it was just her imagination.
なるほどな。脱落させた方にも死を体感させるとは。お前の根性。
Wow, that's twisted, yo. That is super twisted. Not only do you have to kill someone, like literally you're killing them by electing them, but you have to experience their death? Oh, that is sick. Parsa opted to respond with nothing beyond her weary smile. In her hand were 3 cards. Odette realized that these were the cards that were in Rose's possession.
5、使命、11、使命、
Oh, she can pick.
11、死因。あなたはどのカードを選びますか？
So numeral 5's name, numeral 11's name, or numeral 11's cause of death. Which would you like? And she picked 5's name. The platform on which Odette stood began to move soon after Parsa asked her
下へ
question.
戻るまでに考えておいてくださいね。
Oh, that's kind of lit though.
選択肢ねえじゃねえかそれ。
I kind of like the idea of that. Dude, yeah, imagine dying in such a boring atmosphere with such sad life too. Right? Imagine dying in a business meeting. That's like the most... That's the most horrible thing ever. Imagine dying at work. You doing work. Is this what happened when they were challenged? What's up, Oo? Oh, Oo was like, oh, yikes. Well, she had imagined this outcome. The fact that she was so on the money left her visibly annoyed. Following that, both her and Parsa returned to the lower level of the Court of Fate. I try to imagine everything she's just explained to me. Basically, you're forced to experience the same death as those you eliminate.
嫌な気分だぜ。バルカってのはあんな顔してひどいやつだ。
そうか？なかなかにスリルがあったけどよ。
Wait, what? You found the whole thing pretty exciting. In response, I make sure to sigh loudly enough for her to hear. She keeps babbling on without a care in the world, though. Whoa, is she can't be that heartless. I don't believe this.
日本入りするぜ。
I don't believe that's cap.
結局行かなきゃいけないから早い方がいいってことだな。
That's cap.
それにあんたが取得したカードの主はどうやら日本人だったな。相当なジジイだったと思うが。
そういうことだ。 よし食ったら出るぞ。
It finally feels like the second round's over, now that we've decided our next move. Washing down the last flaky bits of my croissant with some milk, I stand up and get ready to leave. You know, they're gonna show her backstory sooner or later, and she's gonna have a really bad backstory. It's gonna be heartbreaking. Just watch. Bye, Robert. Thanks for coming. This morning brings memories of another nightmare with it. The second round of divine selection has taken place. By this point, oh, I'm on the wrong side of the screen, sorry. By this point, I've already accepted that I am a participant. The fact that I'm alive right now makes it hard to comprehend the reality of my own death, but it's no longer about whether or not I believe it. Rather, the events that have taken place so far are starting to get to me because they feel so detached from my own personal life. Divine selection's grinding along, and 2 people have been eliminated without any influence from me whatsoever. I keep telling myself that I had died over 2 weeks ago. Or that they died, sorry. But I can't forget the faces I saw in the Court of Fate. That alone is enough to make my heart ache. I don't want to die. Not having access to my own cards is frustrating too. There's one major reason behind my reluctance regarding all this, and it's the fact that I don't know what my own regret is. I still haven't sorted things out with Miharu, but it's entirely possible that we could both be eliminated while preoccupied with that. As afraid as I am of both the woman from last night and the guy from the first round, not to mention everyone else, I'm about to go down without a fight. Yeah, I was just about to say that, Alex. I love the idea of having a pro-tag and antag point of view. That's cool. I have 3 cards at the moment. If I'm going to do any digging, it needs to start with the people these belong to. I look up that Federico Carminati person after I finish collecting my thoughts. As expected, no useful information. All I learned is that it's a common name in Italy. The other 2 cards provide me with the cause of death for numeral... is that 6? And a regret for numeral 9, I think it is? All I know about them is that they seem to be foreigners. After a big sigh, I set about my morning routine. There's always a possibility that the other participants don't know anything about me. That's 4 and 9, sorry. Doesn't mean I can waste my time though. My own name card was among those distributed at the beginning, which means it's only a matter of time until someone puts 2 and 2 together. One thing that has me curious is numeral 4's cause of death. Much like me, their card says they died in a fire. From what I recall, numeral 4 is a boy from abroad. Of course, there's no guarantee that he got caught up in the very same situation as me. Much like how there's no guarantee that I simply died from the fire itself. In fact, I still don't recall how one broke out on the train in the first place. There are plenty of possibilities from a simple accident to an intentional terrorist attack. But there's no way for me to find out when the act has been undone. In other words, all I've got going for me is my memory. Okay, so 1-5, or I say 1-5, but it's 1V is 4. Got you. And then 5 or V1 or VI is 6. No point in forcing myself to try and remember, especially when there's a near 0 chance of a hint magically appearing to help me out. I make my way downstairs, have some bread, and then head to school. What's up, Allie? How have you been? Thanks for coming to the stream. Oh, I don't have a bento box. What's up, James? Mao and Miharu stroll over to my seat when the bell chimes for lunch. I had planned on going to the cafeteria on my own, but Mao catches me just in time. We probably would have eaten separately if she hadn't, considering my mind is a little preoccupied. So much for trying to go about life as usual.
私も今から行こうと思ってたとこ。僕も今朝はちょっと寝坊してしまってね。お弁当を作れなかったんだ。寝坊。
Obviously, I won't ask if that was thanks to being in the dream world.
ミハルンが寝坊なんて珍しいね。さて、食堂へレッツゴー。
The university on campus has its own cafeteria, which is open for our use as well. Middle schools aren't allowed to use it, but once you hit high school, it's fair game. This is a little awkward hanging around all the university students. Most of us tend to buy our food and then go eat it somewhere else. That goes double for us, considering how much we stand out. That being the case, we make our way to the rooftop after getting our food.
貸し切りだ。
The rooftop is usually crowded with students on days like this, but fortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case
そうい
today.
えばさ、2人は何を買ったの？
僕はハムサンドだよ。シンプルで外れがないし
That ham sandwich
何よ
though!
り安いからね。
Ham sandwich!
それで足りる？
真央こそ焼きそばパンとアンパンだろ。量で言えばそんなに変わらないよ。
Yakisoba bread and anpan. I've never had that before.
いやいや。
I never even heard of
うち
that.
はコーヒー牛乳を買ってるからカロリーは圧勝だね。
She jams a straw into the carton with a triumphant grin. It's a 16-ounce carton too. I'd probably struggle to finish it before lunchtime ends.
カロリーで勝負してどうすんの？
Calorie counting is a competition. It really is. I've had friends like that.
太る？
I have had friends like that.
ダメだろそれ。リータンはもう少し太った方がいいと思うけどね。
Dang.
胸見ながら言わないでくれる？
Ha! I'd appreciate you not saying such things while ogling my chest.
おこは。
She's like, you ain't got no boobs. Much as I am aware of my depressing reality, I'd rather not have her remind me of it. Especially with Miharu sitting right beside me. Yeah, don't tell Miharu I have no boobs.
それでミンカは何を買ったのかな？
あ、カツサンド。
Tonkatsu sandwich.
はい、リータンの優
What does
勝。
that consist of?
やっぱりカロリー摂取する気あるんだね。競ってないから。
Well, I asked for a bite as I unwrap the packaging. Trust her to do so before I can get a bite in myself. I flip the sandwich close to her mouth, which prompts her to chomp down on it.
あ、カツまでいかなかった。
I didn't get any of the tonkatsu from that bite.
一口。
That's your problem.
マオ。ってミハルどうしたの？
She's staring at Mal with a blank expression.
ミハルも欲しいんじゃない？
Ham sandwiches are disgusting. That's what you eat in like prison. You do not eat ham sandwiches on a daily basis, okay? Ham sandwiches are nasty.
じゃあハムサンドと交換する？マオがかじってない方は。
Ew, don't do that. Don't trade for your ham sandwich. I'd rather eat tonkatsu. I don't even know what tonkatsu is. And I'd rather eat that.
お構いなく。僕は揚げ物は苦手だからいらないよ。
すみません。
She was just simping for Miharu there. That's what it was. Mal presents her yakisoba bread as an offering to Miharu after apologizing. Unsurprisingly, Miharu turns her down, which elicits a laugh from her. Honestly, what a silly conversation. At the same time, it serves to remind me that moments like this are a regular part of my daily life.
リンカ？どうしたの？いや。
You like ham sandwiches though? Ugh.
ちょっとぼーっとしちゃってさ。
That said, I go back to eating my lunch. We keep chatting away like usual on the rooftop until just before lunchtime ends. After the final period of the day, I hear someone call out to me as I'm tidying up my desk. Ah, senpai?
あ、ナオミ。
She says, senpai? Turns out to be Naomi. The cultural festival isn't far off at this point, so it's about time she starts teaching her classmates how to brew coffee themselves. That's why we made a deal to have her come over to Lion House as much as possible this week. She normally waits for me at the gate, so it's kind of surprising to see her come straight to my classroom. Now that I think about it, will everything I'm teaching Naomi right now be undone if I get eliminated? Based on what Parsa said, it's all but guaranteed. If that's true, then why am I even bothering?
先輩？どうしました？ごめん。なんでもない。
Oh, Naomi, hi. Barbie's just like, whatever. It's Naomi. I can't keep acting like this. Mal caught me spacing out earlier today, too.
お待たせ。もう行けるよ。
リンカ、
Oh no. Miharu. Miharu stops me as I'm standing up.
あれどうしたの？
羊さんと帰りかい？
Ha! She's like, are you going home with her? Come on, you're supposed to go with me. What the Rinka? Oh
コー
no!
ヒー入れる練習するからさ。
They're giving me options! Ah! This is one of those games where the options matter, so I'm just like, I'm shaking. I'm so scared to like make a choice. Ah, this sucks. So our choices are, do you want to join, or I take it you're going to work? Bruh. If I get a bad in, I'm gonna be so mad. All right, let me just go anything but the options. Just invite her. Naomi stands out more. The pro tags are getting away. I guess I'll invite her. Why not?
もし暇なら、ミハルも来る？
Assuming you're free, of course. Is she gonna come? Not like there will be any customers in the first place, and I'm all out for hanging out together. At first, she looks happy about the offer, but it quickly shifts to disappointment. Oh no! I disappointed her!
僕のお誘いなんだ
Ah!
けど、今日もバイトがあるんだ。
She wanted to be alone! That's what it was! You see, she's blushing. Do you guys see that? She's freaking blushing. She's freaking blushing!
いや、代わりを見つければ間に合うかな。
Oh, wait. She's changing her mind. She whips her phone out to check mid-sentence.
いや、バイトなら仕方ないよ。うちに来ても話すだけだし、また今度だね。
Okay.
うん。また今度。必ずだ。
Her tone is a bit poignant. Not that I blame her. It's entirely possible one of us could be eliminated during the next round. I leave the classroom after saying goodbye to Miharu. I'm sure Mao would have tagged along, but it seems like she's busy with something else today as well. While on our way to Lion House, Naomi blurts out something I don't expect.
三島先輩に申し訳ないことしちゃったかな。
What?
ミハルに？はい。三島先輩もリンカ先輩と話したかったんじゃないかな。
It's probably about the death game.
私もミハルと話したかったな。でもバイトって言ってたから、ナオミのせいじゃないよ。いや、そうじゃなくて。そういえばさ、今日は教室まで来てくれたよね。ちょっとでも早く合流できればって思ったんですけど、明日からはやめときます。え、どうして？
My God. Naomi struggles to find the words that answers my question. The finger thing. At a number of false starts, she simply tells me, never mind. It's worth noting that she actually seems a bit aggravated, a rarity for her. The finger thing. I love it. We're going to be forced to spend time with Naomi now, apparently. Unbeknownst to both Rinka and Naomi, there's a girl secretly watching them from the school gate. Wait, who? What's this music? It was Mishima Miharu, known at Amechi High for her looks and admission via scholarship. Too many. She is the embodiment of perfection. However, this perception has made her somewhat difficult to approach for them, especially now as tears stream down her cheeks for all to see. Wait, what's going on? A scenario likely to become the locus of many rumors. If it involves anyone either other than Miharu, in fact, it is such an unusual sight that no one will dare mention it at all.
ミハルまだいたんだ。
What's happening? Amongst the crowd of students pretending they haven't seen anything, Mao is the only one to address her. Her attitude remains consistent even in the presence of her friend crying without uttering a word. Miharu's focus never shifts, despite Mao's presence. As such, Mao follows her line of sight, only to give a sage nod after seeing the two figures it led to.
なるほどね。
Wait, who is it?
ねえ、マオ、
なーに？
もし死ぬとしたら、僕はリンカに愛されて死にたい。
Oh no! Her voice quivers as she says this to Mao. Her words lack even the slightest hint of exaggeration. Mao is well aware that she has simply let her true feelings slip out. Miharu's words fail to faze her. She responds as she always does.
じゃ、まだ死ねないよね。
What? She opts not to wait for Miharu's reply and walks off. Not because she doesn't care. She understands that Miharu sees no merit in sitting down to hash things out or go and sing karaoke to shout those inner feelings out loud. Instead, she leaves Miharu to digest those simple words. Miharu doesn't think of Mao as being cold for doing so either. In fact, she feels absolutely nothing at all about her. The only thing in her heart is Rinka, who gradually sinks into the horizon. Oh no, is there a love triangle going on here, guys? What the freak? What am I witnessing? What is going on? My head is exploding.
お邪魔します。
Mao feeling a lot like Parsa's other self right now? Kinda.
私と来てるんだから。
You're not
誰
wrong.
もいないよ。
Naomi drops her things off at the counter before donning the apron she's brought from home. I fill in the regulars about the culture festival and tell them not to worry about Naomi's presence. In exchange for teaching her, she's offered to help out with dishwashing and other simple tasks for around an hour or so. I've told her not to bother, but she insists on it. It's gotten to the point where it'd feel rude to keep turning her down, so we've decided on a time for her to help me out. Here's how things typically go when Naomi's around. We open at 4 p.m. on weekdays, and the hours or so after that, it's either completely dead or we have very few customers inside. That's when we either brew some coffee together or she reads up on different types of coffee beans. The latter is more out of personal interest than anything else, since it won't come in handy for the culture festival. If Rinka dies, then Naomi will be looking for her. I know, right? Also, Miharu becoming a bit of a yandere. Yeah, a little bit, huh? Around 6 p.m., the regulars who are just finishing up work start dropping by. So that's when I have her help out for an hour. Afterwards, she kills some time either studying or reading books. Sometimes we chat when I've got the time to. That's how things went last week anyway.
さあ、じゃあ始めようか。
Does she have an apron too?
先輩、
No, she doesn't.
ちょっといいでしょうか。
She takes something out of her bag after I nod. It's a transparent black plastic bag. Inside are a number of cookies. Cookies! Made in the shape of stars and hearts. I love cookies.
かわいい。その、お礼の気持ちです。昨日は日曜日だったので。
I untie the red ribbon after she hands me the bag. A sweet smell wafts through the room as soon as I do so. Oh, cookies.
甘いものが嫌いじゃなかったら
Love cookies.
コーヒーを入れた後、一緒に食べてみてもらえませんか？
I love sweet things.
もちろん。ありがとう。
I tie the bag back up to prevent the cookies from getting splashed with water while we're brewing.
リボンはリンカ先輩の好きな赤にしてみました。
That's sweet. Okay, Naomi. You're gonna get some good friend points, right? But I don't like you like that. I'm just letting you know. You're just a friend.
なんで知ってるの？
But you could be a best friend.
わからないと思ったんですか？
Bye, Onyx. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate you. Leaving the cookie somewhere visible, I start the brewing process.
うん。もうバッチリじゃないかな。みんなにも教えられるんじゃない？
Okay, so this is what happens, right? Since I'm teaching her how to make coffee, what she needs to do is teach me how to make cookies so I can make cookies for Miharu. You feel me? Y'all see where I'm going with this, right? Y'all see where I'm going with this.
そんな。もう少し練習したいです。初心者向けの方法ですけど、私おっちょこちょいなので。
She can act as humble as she wants, but it's fact that she's improving. I'm rather impressed by how well she manages it when she's properly focused. I wouldn't be surprised if she shot right ahead of me if I were my grand teaching her.
じゃあ、そろそろ。
You see what I'm saying? You get
ちょ
it!
っと休憩しよう。
I'm looking forward to those cookies. Yeah, me too. We have no customers right now, so it's the perfect moment to take a break. Can't say for sure if that's a good or bad thing though. I place the cookies onto a plate and carry them over to our usual seats along with some coffee. After appreciating how great they look, I finally take a bite.
ごくり。
Oh yes! Someone hits Naomi's panic button as she awaits my reaction.
おいしい。
She likes the cookies, y'all. I'm not good at making dramatic reactions, so this is the best I can do. Naomi's eyes shimmer with an excitement that matches her beaming smile. Aww. I have a sip of my coffee before taking another bite. Wait, hold up, girl. I ain't done with my review. I'm not done with my review yet. Uh-oh. That's a good thing. Wow. She said she put extra butter. She lets out another sigh of relief, brushing her hand down her chest. Okay. We don't we don't need all this, you know what I mean? Like, hold on. Somebody said, let me take a screenshot. I'm so dead. Why is there such good art in this game? I hate it. There are a few too many for me to eat alone, so we end up eating them together. Baking sweets is apparently one of her favorite pastimes. She can bake a whole bunch of things, but cookies seems to be her specialty. It reminds me that my gran used to bake cookies as well. Granted, the taste was completely different from these. This stream has been brought to you by cookies. These are simple and mellow, just like much like Naomi, but at the same time, they don't feel as if they were made by someone not used to baking. An idea hits me once we're about halfway through the plate. Rinka gets it. Rinka gets it. Our customers would probably be thrilled to see more sweets on the menu. No. The customers, okay? We're making these for Miharu. Learning directly from Naomi rather than trying to do so on my own is a much more realistic approach too. And most importantly, I want our regulars to taste just how good these are. However, I can't help but remember divine selection when Naomi stares at me in utter amazement. Even if she does teach me, it'll be all for nothing if I get eliminated. Oh wait, no. Make cookies for your girlfriend. I know, for the GF. There's no way I can tell her about the possibility of me dying, but I'm awfully close to doing so. There's definitely a part of me that figures I could lift some of the weight off my shoulders if I told someone about all of this. Uh-oh. Her overjoyed expression quickly clouds over as she draws her face close to mine. I must look like I'm mulling something over, so I rush to find a way to respond. Customers, no one cares about them. Yeah, who cares about customers? I really am, Harley. I really am. She knows me too well. She struggles a bit before continuing. Yo, she's like Sayaka from Danganronpa. Her eyes immediately shoot to the floor, almost as if she's left the words fall out by accident. Aww. She takes a small breath, raises her head back up, and looks me dead in the eyes. Her expression is almost oppressive. Wait, what's going on? She's gonna be like, I died too. Oh! The music and everything is crazy. Cause she was there. She's dead. She's part of the game.
電車が燃えて火事になって。
That's not good. If we have too many friends in this game, we're gonna have to like unfriend people. We can't be having them know a lot about us.
炎は広がって熱くて苦しくて。
I thought she was alive though.
でも先輩が私を守ってくれるんです。ただ先輩はそのまま炎に巻き込まれて。
Okay. She pauses a number of times while she talks. Her voice gradually gets more and more agitated.
リンカ先輩はそのまま死んでしまって。いつか
What?
覚えてる。
The susdar is going off right. She shakes her head, which is turned to face the floor again, and then answers.
もうはっきり覚えていないんです。けど最初に見たのはきっと初めて
Okay.
このお店に来た日だったかもしれません。どうして言ってくれなかったの？あ、いや、怒ってるとかじゃなくて、もしここに来るのが辛いとかなら。そんなことないです。私、先輩と一緒にコーヒーを入れる時間が好きです。先輩と話していれば夢は夢だって割り切れるから。でもたとえ夢の中でだって先輩が死んじゃうところを見るなんて嫌です。そんなこと思うはずがないのに。
But we haven't seen her in the game though, right? Her voice falters on her final word. I can see the tears welling up in her eyes.
何度も何度もこの夢を
What if she finds out?
それって
That's not a bad dream. There's no doubt that what she's seeing is the cause of my death. A number of questions pop up in my head, but most of all, I'm flat out shocked. I never would have guessed that she's been having a dream like that based on her attitude, especially when my own memory of the event is fuzzy at best.
辛かったね。大丈夫、大丈夫だよ。私は
Why does she know so much more than we do about our own
先
death?
輩ともっといろんなことがしたいです。一緒にクッキー焼いたり、また遊園地に行ったり、他にももっともっと。だから
I can't force myself to nod in response. After all, I'd already be dead if it weren't for divine selection. What she's dreaming about actually took place. It's just been undone for the time being. It makes me wonder, when Parsa said our deaths had been undone, did she mean that the world's memories of the events themselves had been rewritten? I can't wrap my mind around how such a thing could even be possible. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how she just remembers that. However, the fact of the matter is that Naomi's memory of my death is so deeply ingrained in her, being that she's reliving it over and over in her dreams.
返事してください。ごめん。違います。ごめんなさい。先輩に謝ってほしいわけじゃなくて、でもやっぱりそうすればまた同じ夢を見ても大丈夫な気がするから。
I don't know, Naomi.
ごめん、私は。
I desperately hold myself back from saying something I'll regret. I'm far worse at lying than I thought, judging by how I keep apologizing and evade the question. Her head is cast downward, but her eyes are glaring up at me. The tears in her eyes are a lot more obvious than before. And it's my fault that she's crying.
もし悩んでいることがあるなら、私にも話してください。ある日突然いなくなるなんて。
You're my friend, Naomi! You're my friend!
嫌です。
She says this with a resolute voice, despite her eyes being filled with tears. It just makes my heart ache all the more, though. She's likely to be haunted by that dream for a long time, assuming I keep the truth from her. And yet, telling her won't change the fact that I'm a participant. What's worse, I may even get her caught up in something dangerous if she decides she wants to try and help me out. I can't say for sure how dangerous this whole situation is, but at the very least, I want to make sure she never comes in contact with those people from the dream world. Most of all, I'd have to reveal the fact that Miharu is also a participant, and that only one of us will make it through the whole thing alive. Keeping her in the dark would mean I don't burden her with my situation.
ナオミにね、聞いてほしいことが。
I know, Rinka's gotta live. But what if it does end up being Miharu versus Rinka, like in the end of the game? It's just like, who's gonna die then? Who's gonna die?
余計不安にさせてしまうかも。いや、そもそも信じられないかもしれないけど、聞いてくれるかな。はい。
Okay, here we go. She answers without hesitation. Just as I'm about to start my explanation, the chime on the door rings. Crap.
ごめん。続きは明日でいい？閉店するまで待っていてもいいですか？それは悪いから。少し気持ちも落ち着けた方がいいしね。大丈夫。明日の放課後、必ず話すよ。
Yeah, Rinka is the protag.
わかりました。
She nods enthusiastically and then helps put the tableware away. She leaves as I get back to work. Meanwhile, I try to focus on my work as much as possible to distract myself from my own uneasiness. Hey. Hey. Hey.
おはよう、ミハル。
Miharu's already here when I get to school. She gives me her usual smile before she continues. Aww. That usual smile. Senpai! Naomi comes running over to me from the gate. Oh no! Uh-oh. She almost trips in her haste, but she manages to catch herself. Seems like she's just as clumsy as ever when she lets her guard down. She's been waiting for me at the gate, just like she said she would yesterday. There's little point in her coming all the way to my classroom anyway, considering it's a big detour for her.
お待たせ。気分を変えて話したいから移動しよう。うちの近くにいいところがあるんだ。
Blaze Ultimate Anime Girl?
ライオン館ではなくてですか？ちょっとね。今日は天気もいいし。
This is my favorite song in the game, bro. I'm gonna look online. I've tried to find like the soundtrack for this game. I can't find it. Maybe I need to look some more. Following that, we both make our way to the station. The soundtrack is amazing. One transfer from Shinjuku to the metro and 2 stops later, you'll find this park. There's an entrance fee, but it's fairly inexpensive. It's one of the biggest parks in Tokyo and was apparently an old samurai's garden back in the day. I'm not sure why, but it was reconstructed. Wait, whoa. Hey, hold up. Hey, hey, hey. Fire! Oh, this song is fire. I'm not sure why, but it was restructured to resemble a mix between Japanese, English, and French parks. There are normally tourists all over the place, but it's a lot less busy on weekdays. That makes it ideal for a change of pace. I came here a lot when I was a kid. There's one place in particular that I really enjoyed visiting.
ここですか？ね、いいでしょ？
You think Naomi looks like... Oh, Naomi reminds me of Sayori? Yeah, for sure. There's a small bench in the middle of the garden. We sit down there, taking in the surroundings and the clock tower-esque building in the distance. Few buildings in Shinjuku stand out as much as that one. Part of me wants to say it's the building for a telephone company. The sound of the greenery whispering in the wind is nice and relaxing. An odd sensation washes over me out of nowhere. It makes me wonder whether or not I've actually been here before. But I'm sure of it. I know I've been here plenty of times as a kid. What?
ごめん、大丈夫。
I take a deep breath and get ready to tell her all about divine selection.
じゃあ、どこから話せばいいんだろう。まあいいや。信じられないような話なんだけど。
I'm not making it up, I swear, Naomi. Just listen to me.
リンカ。
She didn't call me senpai. She utters my name in a painful manner once I finish telling her everything. She started to get teary-eyed midway, but I kept going. I doubt she would want me to stop without painting her the whole picture. She nodded attentively, from beginning to end, as if to reassure me that the decision to tell her was the right one.
絶対 変だと思ったんです。あの本の話をした日、先輩は英語が全然できないはずなのに。
That is true. Everything did start then. Bye, darkness.
すでにあの日にはもう先輩は生きて、絶対に生きているのに。
I mean, yeah, I'm alive right now. Saying that, she takes my hand in hers. The surface of her hand is cold, but I can feel her warmth underneath. There's no doubt the same goes for me. The warmth serves as proof that I'm alive.
私は生きてる。でも、どうやらこっちが間違っているみたいなんだ。私、先輩が何を抱えてるかなんて知らずに。仕方がないよ。だって話してなかったから。
You wouldn't understand. She doesn't doubt what I have to say for a second. Chances are that my cause of death lines up with her dream so much that she has no choice but to believe it. It gives her an answer as to why she's having that dream too, although it does nothing to resolve the situation at hand.
しかも、三島先輩も同じ状況だなんて。
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether or not I should tell her about Miharu, but I decided to do so in the end, so she did tell her about Miharu. Oh no. On the other hand, there's no point in trying to keep certain things to myself. On the other, I simply gave in to my desire to lighten my own burden.
それに、三島先輩はそんなことを言ってたんですね。
She's referring to Miharu's statement regarding her own participation. That she's willing to give her life for mine.
三島先輩みたいなこと、私だったら。
Question is, does Naomi know how to keep a secret? Good point. And why do animes go so deep? I don't know.
私もそうだよ。三春に死んでほしくない。でも、自分が死ぬのも怖い。だから、三春を最後の一人にするために潔く死ぬなんて。自分がどうすればいいのか正解がわからないまま、もう2週間も経っちゃった。仕方がないと思います。
Another breeze blows through, catching our hair. There's a surprisingly cold breeze for this time of year. I can see the sunset off in the distance. The mixture of blue and orange on the horizon somehow resembles a wavering heart to me.
三島先輩は強いですね。
Yeah, Miharu is very strong-hearted. You could tell.
そうだね。
She's the complete opposite of me. She knows exactly what she wants to do, whereas I'm sitting here unstable to make any sort of decision. She might have already gotten started on gathering info based on the cards she's received. In fact, I'm certain she has. The determination in her eyes make it apparent. Her attitude at school isn't any different from usual, but that's just further proof of her resolve. There's no doubt she's going so much research, or doing as much research as she can elsewhere. And she's doing it all for my sake. I'd say that all the time she's been spending at work lately was just a front for said research, but that'd be overthinking things. That's something she's been doing for a while now.
聞いてくれてありがとね。少し気が楽になったよ。
Oh, that's nice. I'm glad Rinka feels
どうすれ
better.
ばいいのかなんてまだわからないけど、しばらくはまたこのまま過ごしてみる。
Saying that, I get up off the bench. Or I try to, but Naomi stops me by grabbing my sleeve. What's up with people grabbing my sleeve?
待ってください。私、決めたことがあります。
What?
決めたこと？
What is that? She nods firmly in response.
私、凛花先輩を支えたいです。
Yeah. Hold up. Hey. Bring it back now.
このままじゃ絶対ダメです。凛花先輩の気持ちにはなれないけれど、私の無責任な意見かもしれないですけれど。
Oh, this is sweet.
逃げてるだけじゃいけないと思います。
She's giving the protagonist speech. Yes. It's not that I'm struggling to make a choice. I'm simply avoiding it altogether. Naomi makes sure to be as frank as possible with her words. And they turn my entire world upside down. The reality that I've been running from, my responsibility to choose whether I'll live or die, finally sinks in. Before I know it, the sky has been dyed entirely in orange.
調べ物 くらいなら私は手伝います。顔が知られていないから参加者に直接会うことも。
Oh, what a good point! That is such a good point. Rinka, that bad every female wants. Apparently,
何より
they love that blonde streaks.
支えきれないものを一緒に背負うことも。
Wow. Her words are filled to bursting with resolve.
最後の瞬間には先輩たちのどちらかが生き残るのか悩まないといけないかもしれません。でも
It's a good idea. It's really it's a good idea to have an outside source, right? Oshi, what's up?
ねえ、ナオミ。私も今更自覚しちゃった気持ちがあるんだ。
Naomi, you've moved up a few points with me? Yeah, same. She turns to face me, waiting for my follow-up comment. Having the truth put in front of me like that makes me realize what I'm most afraid of.
私、怖いんだ。このまま生き残るには、見張るだけじゃなくて、他の人も脱落させないといけない。自分が人の命を踏み台にしてまで生きるべき存在かなんて。
Oh, that's a good question.
自分の未練さえ曖昧なままだし。
I've seen the expressions of those who were mere moments away from being elected. I wouldn't describe them as sad, angry, or even accepting. They simply looked powerless in the face of what was about to happen. Those were the faces of people who died without being able to fulfill what they wanted out of life. Meanwhile, I'm not sure if I have that much invested into anything to begin with. That's why part of me feels like my life isn't worth being saved in exchange for theirs.
三島先輩や私が凛花先輩に生きていてほしいって気持ちじゃ足りませんか？
This reminds you a lot of the Circle movie. What is that? I don't think I've seen that.
私だって他の人を脱落させて生きることが正しいかどうかは分かりません。でも先輩が死んじゃうなんて絶対に嫌なんです。
Aww.
だからもし他の人を脱落させることが罪だとするならそれを背負うのが怖いなら
Oh.
半分分けてください。
That's great.
ナオミ、どうしてそこまで言ってくれるの？
Why would she go this far for my sake?
本来の運命で先輩は自分の命よりも私を優先してくれた。口で軽々しく言えないだけで先輩はきっとそういう人なんです。凛花先輩だから他に理由は思いつきません。あれおかしいな。
No! Don't cry! Don't do that! She turns her gaze towards the sky, desperately trying to fight back the tears that are ready to fall at any moment. It's a weird time to have a thought like this, but I can't help but consider just how vast the sky truly is. Naomi has nothing but praise for the coffee I make. She's made me realize that I'm avoiding reality. That and a number of other important things.
危ないことはしないでね。
Aww. The tears have started to stream down her face by the time I say that. Aww.
私はこの期間、選定からの脱落以外で死んじゃうことはないらしいけど、ナオミは違う。
Ugh.
だから危険なことはなし。
Don't do that, Naomi. Don't die. Unable to get the words out, she bites her lower lip and nods her head.
その上で私からお願いさせて。女神の選定で私が脱落しないように協力してください。
Question for y'all: what's worse, taking someone's life in a death game or eliminating a ghost and taking away their chance to live again? Oh, that's a good question. Maybe taking someone's life away in a death game, I'd have to say.
先輩、なんで敬語なんですか？
I extend my right hand to her, which she takes. Her nervousness melts away with the beaming smile she gives me afterwards. Her tear-stained cheeks serve as a nice contrast to that.
泣き虫だね、ナオミは。
Aww.
先輩もこういう時は ですよ。
Aww.
からかわないでよ。
Oh, tease me. Her tears don't stop flowing even though she's all smiles. Just then, the announcement comes that it's almost time for the park to close for the day. I take the opportunity to tell Naomi that I'll see her tomorrow and that I make my way home. Why they gotta give us some feels? When I get back, I open up Lionhouse for a bit. After messaging Naomi during break time, I decided to keep the store closed tomorrow so we can focus on gathering intel and organizing our thoughts. I figured hitting up the library will be a good idea since we'll have access to newspapers and the like, but considering I still don't know where to start, I decided it's best for us to meet up there first. We don't need to worry about keeping quiet there, at least. I also make sure to ask Naomi not to tell anyone else about this. Part of me considers telling Mao at first since we're close friends, but considering she's known Miharu for far longer than Naomi, I decided it's best not to. It'd be far too much of a burden for her to bear, and the last thing I want is to ruin the relationship the three of us have right now. Thinking back on everything that's happened so far, I get ready to close shop for the day. Barely any customers have come around, so I only have to clean up a few things. I clean up those things, carry in the signboard and some plants from outside, and put out the trash. The door looks a bit dirty too, so I make sure to wipe it down. While I'm wiping it, I hear footsteps heading my way. I don't pay them much mind, considering it's not rare for people to pass by at this time, at night, but they stop right in front of the store. What if it's Odette? Thinking it's a customer, I turn around to inform them that we're closed, but I stop mid-sentence when I see a woman to whom the footsteps belong. The moment I stand up straight, she grabs me by the shoulders, pushes me against the door, and then into the store. Oh, it's Odette, isn't it? Who are you? What the freak? Her words come out loud and rapid. Her voice sounds like her throat is ready to explode. What the freak? Her first impression makes her seem desperate, but I'm safe she's more anxious than anything else. That's why her shouting actually helps me to approach the situation with heightened composure. Lady, who the hell? Oh, she's number 8. Rather than answering her question, I opt to shoot one right back at her. I don't know her name, but I recognize the face. She's one of the people I've seen in the dream world. Yeah, she's number 8. Composed as I may seem, it's not enough to keep my nerves calm. I can feel myself working up a cold sweat. Even the most minor thing here could act as a hint for her, so I need to watch what I say. Yeah, she knows my name! She knows my name! She slams her hand against the door, closing the distance between us even more. And yet, I'm not afraid. Mainly because I keep in mind why she's so anxious in the first place. The only reason she's asking me is because she's not entirely sure that I am who she thinks I am. Meanwhile, numeral 12 gained her name card from the woman he eliminated during the first round, if memory serves. Uh-oh. I don't doubt that I'd be panicking if this was numeral 9 or 12 asking. Or I meant 11 or 12. But it's the same dread I feel from competing with people like them that allows me to remain calm and here and now. Compared to them, she looks like your average woman, slender and pretty. Although you can tell she looks overtired, there's no doubt she's been getting little sleep. She's wearing what I believe is a shawl atop a hospital gown. My silence makes her all the more agitated. What? Was it suicide, an illness, school, love? Answer me. Hey, chill out, lady. Calm down. Are you gonna finish Romp & Friends rerun? It's not finished. Empire's still working on it. My patience starts to wear thin, which causes me to place my hands on her shoulders and shove her away from me. I must have pushed her a bit too hard since she stumbles backward. She falls and lands on the hard concrete. Oh crap! Oh sorry, lady! Oh my god! Call the police! I apologize without thinking. Showing sympathy to other participants, my enemies in other words, probably isn't the best idea. I ask, but receive no answer. All she does is stare down at the ground and mutter something to herself. Yeah, Empire's still working on it. Like, she hasn't updated it in a while. It's been on hiatus for a long time. Following that, she collapses under her own weight.
大丈夫ですか？救急車。大丈夫だから。救急車いや帰れますから。いや、だって明らかに大丈夫じゃないですし。救急車は。
I don't know if this lady's fine. She is not okay to me. Her sentence trails off there. Judging by her steady breathing, she seems to have fallen asleep as opposed to having passed out. I spot the name of the hospital she was admitted to written on the hem of her gown. It's only a 10-minute walk from here. So she's in the hospital? She doesn't want to get in an ambulance for whatever reason, but I can't just leave her here. Fortunately, she's rather light, so I opt to give her a piggyback ride. She can carry that woman? Jeez. Rinka's strong. After I lock the store up, I proceed to the hospital. Rinka real strong. Yeah, Rinka is very sympathetic. When I arrive, the nurse I speak to showers me with praise. It's hardly surprising. I think most people would praise a high schooler who has obviously exhausted herself by carrying a patient all the way to a hospital in the middle of the night. The nurse wastes no time in taking her away, so I guess she really is a patient here. Thanks to this, I managed to learn her name as well. Oh no, are we gonna end up killing somebody? Kamabuchi Keiko. While she's always had a frail disposition, things have gotten worse for her once she gave birth. I don't pry any deeper, but I doubt they would have told me much more. The only reason they told me as much as they did was to make sure I knew who it was that I helped out in the first place. I'm guessing her regret probably has to do something with like kids or something. Arsa mentioned that we'd obtain new cars whenever we discovered vital pieces of information in the real world. I need the book. Where's the book? Chances are I didn't get one because I didn't have it with me. I'm aware of its importance, but I tend to leave it behind since it's heavy. Either way, I should leave, considering visiting hours have long passed. Curious as I am about Keiko, I make my way back home. Well, it will be hard for Rinka to eliminate my mother. Yeah, I know. Once I return to my room and get ready for bed, I take a seat at the table on which my book rests. Did she get a card? Yup. Little bits of light are pouring out from between the book's pages. Needless to say, this is the first time I've seen this happen in the real world, no less. I take a moment to prepare myself and then I open it. Uh-oh. The moment I do, the light begins to rise above the book itself. All I can do is watch as it eventually congregates to one spot almost 2 feet above my table. It eventually molds itself into a rectangular shape. Well, to be more specific, the shape of a card. Once the transformation is complete, the light dissipates. The card floats in midair for a brief moment before it quietly lays itself to rest atop the book. We finally got a card! Hey! Not gonna lie, that's gonna be interesting to see unfold. It really is, oh whoa. I can't hide my surprise over witnessing something like that happening in the real world. Something similar happened in the dream world, but it's a whole different experience when it happens in your own room. I pick up the newly formed card. It's exactly the same as the others I have in terms of shape and make. The only difference is the content written on it. 8. Name, Kamabuchi Keiko. As expected, it's Keiko's name card. That's all though. I still don't know her cause of death or regret. What's up, Jang? How you been? It has to be related to that. The first ailment that comes to mind from childbirth is... My head starts to hurt all of a sudden. It doesn't take long for me to realize why either. It's because I just remembered how desperate Keiko looked. The way she was acting earlier proved that her regret ran deeper than I could comprehend. What I'm doing right now is akin to walking all over that. The more I try to imagine the circumstances of her death, the worse the pounding in my head becomes. That's when I remember Naomi's proposition to shoulder the burden along with me. I'm not prepared to handle this alone quite yet. Today's done a good job of showing me just how weak I am. Rather than thinking about this anymore, I turn my light off and choose to sleep instead. Man, that's crazy. This lady came out of nowhere. Literally nowhere. It's Mao! I noticed Miharu getting ready for classes as usual when I arrive at school. Seeing her reminds me of the realization I came to yesterday, which prompts me to say something odd to Mao. She probably died in the hospital after giving birth. I wouldn't doubt that. You're probably right. Her voice and tone are lower than usual. She returns to her usual self right away, almost as if to avoid continuing on with that topic. We're back here. Once school is ended, I meet up with Naomi before heading over to the library on our way back to Lion House. Fortunately, the library is only 5 minutes from Lion House, and on the very same path I took to get to the hospital last night. I make sure to fill her in on what happened last night as we make our way there. Her first reaction is to express her concern about me. You cried a lot throughout this game, Mochi? Really? It was that crazy? Oh no! She crinkles her nose when I mention that Keiko seems to have had a rougher go at life than I have, but then sighs in relief afterwards. Once at the library, we gather up some books regarding pregnancy. Oh no. I can already tell if this is going in that direction with this lady, this is going to be sad. And then if we do end up killing this lady, we're going to have to experience her death. And I don't think I would be ready for that. Part of me doesn't want to at first, since we'll be painting a rather dubious image of ourselves. Then again, this isn't the time to be worried about that. Yeah, true. Having gotten what we need, we next make our way to Lion House and spread the books out on one of the tables. Oh, this is a yikes. This is a huge yikes. Yeah, here's the thing is Rinka is going to have to experience that. If we do kill that woman and if she did die during pregnancy, then Rinka's going to have to... Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, no. She announced that the plan was seemingly little issue. I can tell she's forcing herself to act composed. Normal people like us shouldn't have any reason to investigate someone's death like this. It doesn't help that it feels like we're digging into someone's private life without consent. That's one of the reasons behind my headache last night. Not to mention that, in this case, it's about someone who's still alive. I pick up one of the books closest to me, while thinner than the card book. It's packed full of text. I probably shouldn't try my hand at a book like this when I know absolutely nothing about medicine. What's up, Robert? Welcome back. Thinking that, I pick up another one, only to reach the same conclusion. I don't like where this is going at me either. The only stuff I read other than manga are novels, so ideally there'll be something a bit simpler among all these. As I think this over, it leads to me repeating the same scenario over and over in my mind. What's up, Hiyoko? Uh-oh, I just read manga. She's using the book in her hands to obscure her face from below the eyes, which are glued to me. Uh-oh, difficult books. Imagine someone talks about her death and Rinka didn't say anything about it. It's like I could have picked out simpler ones. That makes it pretty clear that I left Naomi in charge of picking out which books to get. I figured that'd be best, considering she's a bit of a bookworm. Are you? Well, apparently you are. I nod my head after a brief hesitation. I wouldn't say I'm bad at studying, but there's no point in putting up a front, especially when my grades tell a different story. Oh no, Rika's a bad student! Oh god. I pick up another book and peruse the table of contents. Naomi hides parts of her face behind her book again, but I can see how focused her eyes are on its contents. 2 hours later, I feel my concentration vanish into a thin air. Ha! Naomi's like, girl!
Naomi-san?
Why is she staring at me like that?
ちょっと休憩しよっか。はい、そうですね。
It does. You might need to stop reading for a little bit. She closes her book after I make my offer. I guess she's finished reading that one too, which makes for a total of 3 so far. Who in the chat, do you guys read? Does anybody actually like read? Like, be honest. I know that might sound like a stupid question, but some people don't read. Like, do you guys like sit down and like get a good book and start reading it? And how long do you, if you do? Meanwhile, I'm still stumbling through my first. The difference in reading speeds between someone who reads often and someone who doesn't is rather striking. Very true. I love reading. Yep, I do. I read a little bit, but not a lot. Yeah, I read. Well, kinda, sometimes. Don't have much time anymore. Fanfics from time to time, but mostly writing for me. Okay, Barbie writes, which is still really good. Rarely if we're talking about books. Yeah, right. I have to. Book, no. Fangans, yes. The school, I do for 20 minutes and I write my own stories. I read fanfics. I prefer reading mangaka than a proper book. That's still reading technically. I've read a whole book in 12 hours straight. Really? Wow. That's actually pretty cool. I've read like 13 books this year already. That's excluding manga and fanfics. That's dope. Online or visual novels, different stories. I write though. Writing's still good. Writing's very good. I brew up some coffee for the both of us and bring it over to the table. I need to get my reading game up then. I'm jealous of you guys. I spent so much time teaching her how to make coffee that I actually haven't had much opportunity to make some for myself. It's always nice watching Naomi drink the coffee I make, considering how much she seems to enjoy it. My YouTube feed is mostly booktube. That should explain it. What's up, Sailboat? How you been? I have picked up on something myself, in truth. But asking for Naomi's input first seems like the best idea. There's a low mortality rate for women during childbirth? Really? The book I've been reading says the same thing. Based on a study from 2014, only 3 out of 100,000 mothers died while giving birth. Wow. Well, maybe in movies, they just make it seem like it happens a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, not necessarily social media, but when it comes to like entertainment and media, I feel like they always show women dying during pregnancy. Well, during childbirth, I mean. I'd assume Keiko is in her 20s or 30s. Even if it's the latter, there's only a 0.003% chance of it happening to her. That's surprising to me. Yeah, that surprised me too. Ego, what's going on? How you been? For comparison's sake, a person is much more likely to be involved in some sort of fatal traffic accident than that. Really? This stuff actually caught my attention while reading because it'll be relevant to me at some point in my future. Seems like Naomi read about the same study. You think we were revising test materials together or something? Fire.
なるほど。でも先輩の話だと概念が実存になるって言ってましたよね。
She needs to learn how to reuse the book.
私もよく意味が分かってないんだけどさ。だとすれば、情報がカードになるというのは、先輩がちゃんと概念として情報を持っていないといけないと思うんです。
Well, the chances of entering that death game are probably lower than that since thousands of people die every day. That's true too. Now the conversation is getting a bit complicated. I take a moment to mentally sort out all the info. The process behind making new cards involves giving information, thoughts, rather, a tangible form. Parse explained that much herself. How does one distinguish which piece of information is correct and turn that into a card then?
すみません。わかりにくい言い方になっちゃいました。先輩の中で論理的に行き着いた結論なのかって意味です。つまり先輩が日常会話の
Oh, they might figure it out right now.
それとも 例えばこの人はいつ症状が悪化したから死因はこれだろうって証拠みたいなものを
We gotta think like Phoenix, right?
していないといけないのかって
We gotta present the evidence.
そっか、なるほどね。
I cast my mind back to these past 2 weeks. I'm not the most chatty person, but I've definitely had a good number of conversations during that time. Chances are good that I've discussed things related to relevant information, so by that logic, I should have some extra cards already. And yet, yesterday was the first time I obtained a new card. In that case, it's probably the latter scenario that's required in order to make new cards.
やっぱりそうですよね。極端な話ですけれど、辞書を最初から最後まで読めば、大体の人は死因も未練も手に入れられることになっちゃいますもんね。
Yeah, true.
あんまりやりたくないけどね。
命がかかっているならやるかもしれません。
Yeah, we've had 2 people die already, so there's 10 people left. That serves to remind me about how desperate Keiko looked. I could tell she had specific force driving her. Knowing that, chances are high that she'd read through all kinds of stuff if it meant possibly obtaining more cards.
それに先輩の死因のカードが作られないのも同じ原因かもしれません。先輩の曖昧な記憶や私のぼんやりした夢の他にも。
So in the end, it's all up to me remembering the exact details of what happened that day. I can't see myself doing that today, at least. The fact that it's yet to come back to me probably means I need something specific to trigger my memories. I pushed those thoughts away and now me back to the topic at hand.
そうですね。私の意見ですけれど、一般的な失血死というのが妊婦さんの、亀渕さんの死因である可能性が高いと思います。
Blood loss.
でも、それじゃあ足りないんだね。どうしてそうなのか、理由や筋道を私がちゃんと理解していないといけない。
The lack of any new card materializing proves that.
ここで調べてるだけだと足りなそうですね。
私がお見舞いに行ったら、まあ、拒否されちゃ
We're
う。
gonna visit her? Why would we do that? I'm well aware of how much my hair caused me to stand out. Yeah, you might want to send Naomi.
どうしました？
休憩するって言ってたけど、彼じゃ休憩にならないね。でもさ、
She is pretty reliable.
頼りになるね。
That's a good friend. Everybody needs a friend like that.
それならよかったです。
I say that, but I can tell she's pushing herself pretty hard. It's clear from the way she's speaking that she's more nervous than usual. The same goes for me as well. There's no way we could have a happy chat about someone's possible cause of death. However, I'm not getting a headache like when I try to do this on my own. Her being here to shoulder part of the burden really does make things easier to bear. Now the issue is how we go about digging deeper.
私、お菓子持ってきたんでした。
Sweet!
手作りじゃないですけど。
More cookies! Saying that, she produces some chocolate, which I happily partake of. The sweet sensation that spreads throughout my body is almost enough to make me shiver with joy. She's the sweets girl.
しみるね。
脳の栄養は糖分って言いますもんね。私が勉強してると、お母さんがよく。
That's a friend you need. One that's just gonna give you sweets all the time. Just randomly.
どうしたの？
What happened?
単純なことでした。私が恵子さんの家族に会えばいいんです。
That's a little risky.
ナオミが？それって危ないことじゃない？
It's a bit risky.
はい。でも、私が会いに行く分には、本人ならともかく、家族ならなんとかごまかせるかもしれません。
でもさ、口止めとかされてるんじゃないの？
夢の世界の話って、大人がそのまま大人に話せはしないと思うんです。オブラートに包んだ言い方をしてる。
She is a Natsuki and Kaido.
完璧じゃない気がします。
She has a point. I had no issue telling her everything, but there's no way I'd tell her one of our teachers, for example. I'd probably be fine with telling my gran, but definitely not my parents if they were around. Yeah, I didn't even know she had parents. Did you? That goes double if I were Keiko's age.
危ないことはしません。だから私に
They haven't really touched on that. They haven't talked about Rinka's parents at all. What if that's her regret? Something about her parents.
そういう演技できる？
それを言われると
She once again tucks her face inside behind a book and then pops part of it back out to speak to me after a moment.
でも頑張ります。先輩のためですもん。
ほんと頼もしいね、ナオミは。
問題はいつ行くかですけど、やっぱり土日がいいかなって思います。
どうして？
平日だと家族の人が来るのって夜になると思うんです。遅くなるなら来られないかも。でも土日なら少なくとも旦那さん、お父さんは来ると思うんです。早い方がいい
What's up, Rowan?
ので土曜日に行きます。
In the entirety of the game, who died? Some woman that we don't know and some guy named Ro, businessman.
わかった。ただ私もついていく。何かあった時に大声を出せば駆けつけられるとこで待ってるから。
She nods her head in response, understanding that I won't back down. We try to discuss other possibilities regarding her death after that, but it basically turns into a study session about pregnancy. After walking Naomi to the trade station, I make my way back to Lionhouse. That's nice. You should walk your friends home. I have to admit, I am surprised by just how fruitful our efforts today have been. It goes to show how little I had been thinking about divine selection before talking to Naomi about it. It's gotten me to question my own life. I still can't say for sure whether or not it's right of me to want to survive. However, I can say with certainty that I don't want to leave my friends and family upset over my death. It's enough motivation for now. I'm sure Keiko has the same resolve pushing her forward. In fact, hers is probably stronger, considering she has a child. I was told I lost my parents in an accident almost immediately after I was born, so I'm not too sure what it's like to experience the warmth and love parents can provide. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The only thing I have to go on is when my gran spoke to me about my mom. Her expression showed an entirely different kind of love from what she holds for her granddaughter. Aww, she lost her parents! The more I consider Keiko and her situation, the more empathy I have for her, which makes me think of her even more. What I should be doing right now is casting my emotion aside and gathering as much info on her as possible. Even Naomi is pushing herself to do what she can for my sake. The last thing I want is to let that go to waste. Should be to get some rest. Thus, I crawl into bed and close my eyes. God, why does this game have to be so sad? I had a feeling she like had her parents died or something like that, because if she lived with the grandma, it was kind of a little sus. And I was like, I don't think she's like a Persona Pro tag where they just like get sent to their grandparents' house for no reason, you know what I mean? Or for like them being a delinquent or something like that. Anyways, we streamed for about 2 hours today. I think I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna stop here. Tomorrow we're gonna actually play, or we're not gonna play anything. We're actually gonna be doing Danganronpa hypotheticals. So if you guys want to come in and react to hypotheticals with me tomorrow, we'll be doing that, which will be fun. I love hypotheticals. So yeah, who told me to react to that one? I think it was Owo. Owo, thanks again for that. That was a good idea. Okie dokie, sounds good. This is a good VN. I like this VN. I'm like, I don't want to stop playing, but I know that I should stop just because I'm kind of tired and I'm hungry too. So I should go get some food. Even though I did eat breakfast before I came here, but still, I'm hungry. I've heard of kids who were raised by their grandparents. I was raised by my grandparents, actually. Yeah, I was a little bit too, for the most part. But yeah, thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. Makoto is the hypothetical. You think so? You think so, Tiki? I don't know. It's a very addictive game. I'm digging it. Pacing is a bit wonky in my opinion, but I'll keep watching. Yeah, the pacing is kind of... Like there's times where I feel like it goes and then next thing you know it just like slows down to a halt. But people were saying that like it takes a while, so we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice day. Bye everyone.